Hey guys, welcome to Coders Project. It's Abhay here, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how do you find the frequency of an array element. So let's take a array to be A. We'll specify few elements like 1, 2, 3, 3, 4. So when we take the element 3, the frequency is going to be 2. So we're going to write a program to get this output. Let's include few basic header files. We're going to be including the IO stream. And if you're on an older C++ version, just include it as iostream.h and include conio.h as well. Now we're going to be using the namespace std. Let's define a class. So we're going to be calling the class as frequency, or yeah, let's call it as frequency. Now we have to specify few variables. So I'll take the variable to be integer type, integer n, to take the number of array elements, and we are going to create an array of size 15, and we're going to be taking an element and another variable to store the frequency of the element. So take it as frequency, freq. Now we're going to be specifying the access specifiers. So let's keep it as public, and then let's create a function as read with the return type as void, and another function for finding the frequency, and we're going to be displaying the elements or the frequency. So for that, display. Okay, let's terminate the class. Now we are using the concept of user defined function outside the class. So we're going to be using the return type, and we're going to be using the class name, which is frequency, and the scope resolution operator, and the name of a function. So let's start with the read. So over here we're going to be taking the number of array elements from the user, and then we're going to be taking the array elements as well from the user, and we are going to ask the user for which element he has to find the frequency. So let's give a statement saying that enter the number of elements, and we're going to be taking that and storing it in the variable n. So now we have to take the array elements from the user. So for that, let's just print another statement. Enter the array elements, and before we take the input, we have to assign a for loop and specify the arguments. Integer, let's take it as I. Function argument integer I is equal to 0, I less than the number of elements, which is n, and increment operator. Now we are going to be taking the input from the user and storing it in the array of size 15. Let's take it as I. And we are now going to be taking the array element for which the frequency has to be found. So let's give a print statement over here. Enter the element to find the frequency. and now we're going to be storing that element in this variable. So we're going to be storing it in element. Okay, so we are done with the read part. Now let's go to the finding the frequency of the element. So to find the frequency, we are again going to start with our return type, our class name, scope resolution operator, and our function name. So over here we are setting the value or the frequency of this element to be 0 initially. So setting frequency to 0. Now let's take a for loop for integer I is equal to 0, I less than n, and I plus plus, and we are going to take the condition as if the element is in the array. So if the element is in our array, we are going to be increasing the frequency for 1 from 0 to 1. So we're going to be using a increment operator over here, frequency plus plus. So we are done with finding the frequency over here, and now we have to display it. So return type, frequency, scope resolution operator, display, and the condition is if frequency is greater than 0, we are going to be printing the value. So if frequency is greater than 0, we're going to be printing cout the element occurs our frequency, the variable which we have stored the frequency, times. So now we are going to be adding a else statement if the frequency doesn't occur or if the element isn't present. So else we're going to be printing element does not occur. So now let's end by calling the main function. So let's take it as integer main, int main, and let's create an object. So frequency is our class name, object I'll take it as O. Now we are going to be calling the functions using the objects, so or accessing the functions using the objects. We have read, we have find, and we have display. Yep, we are all set. Now we can run this. Okay, looks like we have an error. Yep. Now we're going to be entering the number of elements. So let's take the array element size to be let's take it as 5. Enter the array elements. So 1 1 1 3 7. Enter the element to find the frequency. We'll take it as 1. So 1 occurs 3 times. So this is how you get the output. Hope you guys like the video. Do leave a like, subscribe, and comment. If you need a specific video, leave a comment. Go to the description and click on the link to find the detailed explanation for this video using the flowchart. So go check it out. See you in the next video.